Tokyo. Booyah. This is islandproject.com, the digital Noah's Ark. Congratulations to all of our members. We now officially own our $33.5 million no bank debt portfolio on the beautiful island chain of Hawaii. That includes our properties in Maui, Oahu, Waikiki, Honolulu, the Big Island, our recent acquisition, a amazing penthouse, $6 million, no bank debt, beachfront, in addition to our brand new ski lodge in Deer Valley, Park City, Utah. And on a day like today, again, my members chilling like cucumbers in a no bank debt asset with no downside, only going up only as entire nation states and the global economy is eviscerated. Today, I'm going to share with you what the financial engineers and elites have planned for you. It is important that you like and share this video as if your life depends on it, because it truly does. And we're going to take a little bit of a look and a glance in this transition that is currently taking place with Donald Trump as he's taken charge of the most powerful country in the world, MAGA, Make America Great Again. And the tech elite that have funded his campaign set up the new vision of the future, the transhuman agenda, and the new city-states that they are constructing in a decentralized fashion worldwide. Again, blockchain is the future of money. Bitcoin is the #1 store of value in the world. It is a national security measure, not just of the United States, El Salvador, the European Union, but every single nation and country worldwide. And I'm going to tell you where all this is going from an insider who, again, is the first in the world and inventor of fractionally owned real estate, who is tokenized and is tokenizing the first world-class portfolio in the world ahead of what I believe is America's enemy, BlackRock, Wall Street, State Street, and Vanguard, that wants you to own nothing, wants you poor, and wants you eating Z-bugs. Of course, my name is Christopher Greene, otherwise known as General Greene, and I make this presentation to you today from beautiful Tokyo. An absolutely futuristic place, which I believe is the perfect setting for what we are about to discuss today. So let's just talk about what's going on right now. Massive capitulation in the crypto markets. We haven't seen anything like this probably since 2020. This is a massive buying opportunity for all of you tuning in. I mean, sell your kids, sell your freaking wife, sell your freaking house, load up the truck, buy as much as you can. I just loaded up the truck, bought my #1 1000X pick, loaded up more RSR reserve rights token, which again ties into what we're going to be talking about today. That's RSR on the Ethereum chain. This is a Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, ChatGPT investment. I'm sure you know who Sam Altman is, which is going to help with the redesign and the construction of the new city-states that will dominate planet Earth as we move forward. And this is a common fallacy I don't think a lot of you are thinking about, is that a good portion of the general populations think that we are just simply restoring the republic. Right? There's this base, and that's a good thought too. Like, I support that as well. But there's this whole idea that what Trump is doing with MAGA is restoring the republic. It's actually a lot bigger than that. And see, we have a tech system that has been launched by the financial engineers and the tech glitterati, the elites that launched blockchain and Bitcoin into the world. And now they're going to build an entirely new city-state. This is why Donald Trump has been urging the acquisition of Canada, the overthrow of Canada, and the acquisition of places like Greenland and even Mexico. In fact, Marco Rubio is down in the Panama Canal right now negotiating Trump's art of the deal, which we may have to use force to acquire this from the Chinese. Again, some of these things are very good actions to take place, including the tariffs that Donald Trump has now implemented. Of course, economic and financial wars always start before world war, before the actual physical global conflict begins. But here's where it's different this time. The world war being fought today, thankfully, is bloodless. It is being led by the tech elite, VC funds, venture capital, and Silicon Valley, which is now printing its own currency in the form of Bitcoin and other blockchain technologies. This makes up people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, who funded J.D. Vance, who could also be a future president, bringing these people into power to clean house. So let's discuss what's going on with the Doge or the Doggy or the Doge, which is not just a meme, but is a multi-billion-dollar tradable blockchain asset promoted by Elon Musk, a foreign-born immigrant who was born in South Africa, who is arguably just as powerful, even maybe more powerful than the current president. Definitely, at the very least, influencing policy, as over half of the capital and financing contributions for Trump's campaign came from these same very elites. And so, as I did a big report yesterday, which I think brings up some ethical, moral, and I think systemic possible concerns, Elon Musk, single-handedly one of the world's richest man, arguably, if that is to be believed, has taken complete control of the entire United States Treasury infrastructure. I want you to think about that. It says responsible for making payments of some like $6-7 trillion, I think, annually. This includes everything from Social Security to Medicare to federal employee compensation and payroll. Why are they doing this? Why are the financial elites moving in, taking control of the U.S. Treasury Department payment systems and networks? Well, it's because they're getting rid of all of the slack. You see, the tech elite, people like Thiel and Andreessen Horowitz, the VC firm, and others, have installed not really a president, but a CEO. Some would argue almost dictatorial in fashion. Some on the left, which I'm not necessarily agreeing with, would say it's fascistic in nature. That a CEO, a businessman with authority, will make carte blanche decisions on the future of the economy and even our borders in the United States. But the question is, why? Well, as a tech inventor and somebody that heads basically leading innovation as a part of my company, along with all of our beautiful members of the Island Project, again, the first movers in decentralized economies, really building an entirely new 1776 country. And I want you to think about this for a minute. Even if you look at my logo, you can see the digital Noah's Ark was carefully designed in blockchain fashion. You'll notice that coming off of it is decentralized island change, archipelagos, so to speak, that are connected by a similar ethos, the idea of freedom, liberty, and even what I believe to be most important at the digital Noah's Ark, a God first, faith first leading agenda and mission statement to empower people with resources and tools while the NWO, by force, takes over the American and global economy. So let me tell you where this is headed. And we're just going to kind of cut through this madness for a minute with a giant machete with the general. Just like you go to coinmarketcap.com today, and you'll see thousands of cryptos. New cryptocurrencies are being released by the day. Notice that Donald Trump's first order of business wasn't a form of diplomacy in the United States. It wasn't even really a political action. It was the launch of his own meme token. That tells you something very specific from the stratagem, from the strategic perspective of what's really going on behind the scenes today. Again, he launched Trump coin, a meme coin. He launched Melania coin, a meme coin. It was his first act as the coming president during his inauguration. His second act, arguably in alignment with the first, was the establishment of Doggy, the Department of Government Efficiency, which is doing what? It's firing, cutting, getting rid of DEI. It's going to squash and delete, much like tech is very good at disrupting, all of the jobs, all of the fluff, all of the unneeded labor. All this is being replaced, of course, with AI, a transhuman agenda, in addition to a robotic agenda and an alien life form, artificial intelligence, AI, otherwise as I've dubbed the alien invasion, as they transit the American Republic into an entirely new system in the vision of the tech elites. These people are otherwise known as the tech bros. You've heard about them before. I think some of you probably are familiar. Again, some of my best performing investments and recommendations come from Peter Thiel led investments. I recommended his IPO, for example, Palantir stock, which was the number one company in the world. It's been added to the S&P 500, and it was literally the number one performing stock in the entire stock market last year. I released all of that years ago at my world-class school, islandprojectclub.com. I'm sure you've heard of Elon Musk, who also comes from the PayPal mafia, the same people that built the modern foundation of the internet. Of course, Thiel and Musk established and built PayPal, which was really the first organized try at internet money and digital currencies to replace the fiat currencies that are dying. Even RSR, my number 1000X pick today, which I own personally, full disclosure, millions and millions of dollars of, is a Peter Thiel, Sam Altman investment to establish a new tokenized asset class and world reserve while they overthrow US fiat and arguably the old established order. And so this is where we are now. We are even hearing this from the left. People and other billionaires like Mark Cuban have even said this vocally and publicly, that the tech bros themselves, and we've even heard some alarmist comments come from others, even within the Trump ecosystem, namely from Laura Loomer, who's spoken out against Elon Musk, who's talked about, well, some of it looks like censorship, or spoken the fact that it's almost like Donald Trump's entire campaign and presidency has been hijacked by the technological elite. Well, in my view, all are working together in symbiosis to bring in the new autocracy, so to speak. You could also call this a monarchy of sorts, a new established technological vision of the super billionaire class and the elites that, of course, built the current order and system that we are experiencing and living through today. You know, as a startup founder myself, I think in very disruptive fashion. I think in terms of where the opportunities exist. I also think in multi-decade, long-form, long-term trends. One of the best books, for example, that I've recommended for years is also penned by Peter Thiel himself, called 0 to 1. Talks about how to run a startup, how to think creatively and strategically about the vision ahead. And it's exactly what we've actually built with the Island Project, a decentralized platform, a private ecosystem of true 100% equity ownership of the best real estate in the world, focused on our private community, mostly in Hawaii, that owns beach, oceanfront, and vacation rental mansions in the best locations in the world. And this is what you need to understand about where this system and technology is headed. Governments, countries, and city-states of the future are not necessarily contiguous pieces of land. For example, we're hearing about the North American Union suddenly. What many in the conspiracy community said, well, we want to stay away from that, and is now actually being espoused by Donald Trump and others, uniting Canada and its natural resources, things that America needs, with Greenland and that purchase, and also the Panama Canal, while we see China, Asia, and the BRICS, namely Russia and China, move and expand in their area of the world, which includes Africa. We can see this all kind of playing out on the battlefield right now. And again, World War III, to a large extent, although there are proxy wars I've predicted, like Ukraine, we have conflict, biblical conflict in the Middle East. It's not going to go away. Those are the end times. We have events that I think will transpire very shortly in the future, like, God forbid, an attack, which I believe is going to happen on Taiwan, which China will reunify with Taiwan, which they've always considered a part of China, leading us and bringing us into an entire new network event and state system known as the new city-states, countries, 1776, and honestly, like, kind of touching Plymouth Rock for the first time. You know, this is also kind of a religious movement of sorts. You'll notice that they have positioned Trump and Elon almost like religious figures. Almost in Christ-like fashion, the tech elites worship the technology, what I've dubbed and called and came up with, I was the first to term it this, the technological Tower of Babel. As they build the new system and life extension and transhumanism and the alteration of their own bodies. Things that were once conspiracy, like Brian Johnson, who's injecting blood into his veins from his son, from the youth, to maintain relevancy and to hopefully de-age himself, which they're experimenting with all this tech right now. With the robot agenda that Elon Musk has warned as he's building will not only replace great portions of labor, but in addition, Sam Altman had said will establish a new social construct. What is this new social construct as entire nation states are eviscerated by the massive new multi-billion-dollar technology footprints like islandproject.com and more? Now, keep in mind, VCs are moving in now. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, the Andreessen Horowitz firms of the world. People like Brian Armstrong, the creator, founder of Coinbase, another stock that I've recommended. People a part of Donald Trump's direct team, like David Sachs and J.D. Vance and Balaji, if you've heard of him, other big members within the tech community, even intellectuals, are all talking about a new network event, a new system of sociological, economic, and financial order. So what is this? And let's talk about this. You know, for those of you in crypto, you've taken my courses in schools. By the way, I'm just about to release my new 1000x pick. It's a micro cap trading under $1 million aggregate value that is set to skyrocket. Only my members at the Island Project Club will get it. So I encourage you to get in. You'll get all the other material, all that great stuff as well. Plus my new 1000x pick. It is also a requirement to become a real estate investor at islandproject.com with a minimum of 30 units. That minimum is going up. You should be at least at 150, 250, 500, and 1,000 units to enter our project. And so just like we see cryptocurrencies today, I'll even show you this here, at coinmarketcap.com, you'll see all the various cryptocurrencies, from Bitcoin to Ethereum to XRP Nation. The list goes on and on. The Wall Street creation of Solana, which Donald Trump launched his meme token, and others. Just like blockchains and cryptos are being listed on an exchange, entire nation states, fractionally owned decentralized networks, and new nations like islandproject.com are currently under development. In fact, it's very 1776 in nature. We launched July 4th, 2022. Again, we're always way ahead of the curve. I invented alternative media television. We are the first to have invented and accomplished the fractionalization, which means you can own simply with a small amount of capital, the best real estate in the world. So this is opening up a whole new democratized opportunity for you tuning in as the world transforms and forms and formates into an entirely new system design. So here's my point. You're not going back to the old republic. America is not going to go back to where it once was. This is all being built. And Trump is leading this along with Elon Musk and the rest of the tech oligarchs, Sam Altman, Larry Ellison, and all the people speaking to you on a daily basis, including Mark Zuckerberg, are building an entirely new city-state economy and decentralization of governmental power and political force. This ties into the technological developments that I speak of and espouse to you on a daily basis. So just like Bitcoin's listed at near $2 trillion today, Ethereum is listed at $334 billion, Tether listed at $139 billion. Entire new city-states, nation-states, and network economies will be listed in the future in the trillions and billions of dollars. And there will be competitors listed. Island Project will be at the top. We're the first ever in the world to design this. We are the first in the world to successfully have accomplished it in real terms. We are the first in the world with our beautiful members from all around the world, overseas, including Tokyo, to actually own concrete, physical, no bank debt assets that do what? Appreciate with time. Traditional real estate creates capital gains. It's a legacy asset that the elites own and wealthy families own. Now you can own it along with us. Pays income distributions on an annual basis. We've been building out the portfolio. We expect to pay income distributions which create income for the new city-state itself. That is paid pro rata to all of our members as we keep acquiring more and more properties. In addition to that, we provide some use of properties, and so a physical action and availability and use case of the actual real asset itself, which is incredible, which networks people together in a meaningful way of exchange that is building a decentralized ecosystem worldwide. And then more importantly, as we are almost the anti-BlackRock, we are the anti-Wall Street. We've empowered our members with the most lucrative opportunity in world history, which is our 1000x tokenization launch, which means a separate event, which will tokenize in the equivalent of our IPO for all members, pro rata their units, and or if you thought of it in stock terms, shares, their units of value that will then be trading on these global exchanges, like Coinbase and Gemini and Kraken and DEXs like Uniswap, etc., and even across new blockchains that we can bridge across. Now, in fact, some of the topics at school I'll be releasing very soon will include a knowledge bank on how to exactly bridge from one chain to another to seek these emerging and new possible potential 1000x opportunities. So this is where it's all headed. This is where we are going. And if it's not simple enough for you to understand, as the old system is destroyed, as the US dollar dies, as old government power is eviscerated by Doggy, Elon Musk, and the rest of the billionaire class, as your transition to a new non-human entity agenda, as they then now move to universal basic income, and Sam Altman has even warned that he actually thinks in addition to UBI, annual payments to the general populations that are losing wealth and financial power as a result of this disruptive force in technology, that they may even have you own some tech stocks as a result, that will be mandated by the government to prevent the American people from total poverty. We've seen this, of course, with gold skyrocketing to new all-time highs, silver, I'm sure, following shortly thereafter, all commodities, the tariffs and taxation that Donald Trump has implemented, 25% to Canada, 25% to Mexico, 10% tax to China, 10% on the imports of energy, natural gas, fuel, these kinds of things essential to run the backbone of the American economy in regards to Canada. What is going to happen as a result of that? Well, we're going to have more debasement of currency. You are going to have more inflation. You are going to have more scarce resources and assets you've ever had before. BlackRock, which is now tokenizing its own products, is now stating what I've been stating for, going on 10 years, that all forms of ownership, economic ownership of assets, including real estate, the number one asset in the world, will be fractional, which again, I invented. Fractional ownership, so everybody can take part and buy the best properties in the world. But what's different about what we've done is it's not a commodity. Our ethos of freedom and liberty is led by my team. It is led by myself, my amazing father. It is led by my members. And we have a common focus, much like there was a common focus when America was established, when people were seeking freedom, economic freedom and religious freedom, as they were fleeing from the king, so they would never have to be stamped with a social security number on their butt or be taxed into infinity. Sales tax, purchasing tax, death tax, real estate tax. The tax list goes on and on and on. I mean, very few people even understand how the tax code even works. It was set up that way for a reason, to tax, to tax, to tax, to tax, to tax. So again, we've gotten away, and the tech elite know this as well. We've gotten away from really the foundational principles of what even made America a free state. And we saw this with the late figures, which, by the way, are still alive, in my opinion, at the very least in our hearts, like John McAfee, who warned us of all the events soon to come, who warned you not to comply, who warned you that freedom, in order for it to be born, would have to be revolutionized with entirely new technological developments led by great men and women like you and leaders of the digital Noah's Ark. And that is where we are today, folks. And so today in the news, from a geopolitical standpoint, back up the truck, we're getting massive capitulation. I do not believe that Bitcoin will fall much further. Again, the elites are just looking for, more open and interest buying opportunities to steal your Bitcoin. The elites lied to you. Your financial advisor is an idiot, told you never to buy Bitcoin because he's stupid. In addition to that, he was sold by the people he works for not to sell it. He was told because he can't think for himself it was a scam. And he listened to the mainstream media, and he listened to people like Jamie Dimon, and he listened to all these figures that were obviously wrong, lying, negligent, or didn't know what they were talking about. People like Warren Buffett that feel very threatened by the new established system of blockchain technology that competes directly with this company, Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, think about it. As Bitcoin rises in value, as a non-state asset, truly owned independently out of state governmental controls, that is completely uncensored and unconfiscatable, develops and increases marketing, purchasing, wealth, power to the average individual. Well, a lot of those same investors that might be, investing with him might go elsewhere. They might see that during a banking, economic, sovereign debt collapse, which is currently taking place in the United States, it'd be much more beneficial to own real assets, tokenized, on a blockchain. And see, this is exactly where all this is going. And so I really want you to think about this for a minute, what we have built, how incredible of an opportunity that fractional ownership of the best real estate, cool real estate, fun real estate you can hang out in, mansions in Hawaii and Maui, in Waikiki, Park City ski mansion lodges. The list goes on and on. International diversification as we expand to Tokyo and to Bali, booyah, and to frickin' Thailand, booyah, where we'll be buying a mansion very, very soon as we internationalize. And then the expansion of future development and acquisitions. In the near future, islandproject.com will own hundreds of properties worldwide. We'll be doing billions of dollars of revenue annually. We'll declare its own official independence, which we've already declared with our own constitution, our own 1776, July 2022, and our own sovereignty. Eventually will lead to a new network city-state economy that will even apply for recognition with the United Nations and other governmental entities and bodies. You see, I'm not the only one doing this. The big boys are now moving in. They're actually copying exactly what I've developed. Major VCs are now pouring billions of dollars into these new ecosystems and economies. Their goal, again, is to not necessarily restore the American Republic. They're going to build a new idea and framework of the Americana and American Republic that's decentralized. For example, our community, if you look at how it actually operates worldwide, not just digitally, but even physically. The real estate isn't just in one contiguous state like North America. It's in multiple islands, it's in multiple states, it's properly diversified. We've got ski lodges, we've got beachfront, we have even international diversification as part of the build out. And all of these people and all of our beautiful members participate equitably, very fairly, and transparently. Now, once our ecosystem launches in the blockchain format, that will provide a transparency for all the ownership rights of the entire community. And our protocol, designed by our team, by myself, will then basically have a public ledger that shows you exactly what you own, cash flows, purchasing opportunities. You'll be able to use your tokens for stays and use and other things to participate in the ecosystem economy itself and do incredible new things which are currently advancing, like decentralized exchanges and the ability to finance and even borrow against and securitize assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are even projects that Donald Trump and his sons are working on today. So I want you to think about this incredible opportunity and where it is headed. I encourage you to visit islandproject.com right now. Again, while the markets crash, I've predicted that the deep state and the radical left would dump the entire stock market on Donald Trump's head. I told you that the second he got in, they would move in to collapse the economic financial system in the United States, which is what they're doing now. It's what you're seeing right now. We're moving into the capitulatory phase. Bank runs, expect bail-ins, expect more bailouts, expect extreme hyperinflation, expect a new World War III technological footprint. And I always told you while that was happening, the digital Noah's Ark was being built in the background. No bank debt, cool as a cucumber, 33.5 milli, soon to be billies as we tokenize. We see the amazing turtle here just enjoying himself in the water. Now, again, you just click that buy now button. That'll take you to our private link and fill out a 2-minute application. It's very easy. We have to ask you some, regulatory-based questions, answer them to the best of your ability. Once you do that, you sign your docs. My dad and I will get a ping. We accept ACH, wire transfer, credit, debit card. We also prefer crypto, real money, real tangible money. So you pay in Bitcoin and Ethereum or altcoins. If you're doing that, reach out to my father. And if you have any questions, call him at 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. Speak with Papa John, leave him a message or send him a text. We will get back to you. But the way to step up and make sure you get into this world-class opportunity before it closes, we have very few units left, is to fill out an app and sign immediately with your first 150 units. Your 250 units, your 500 units, your 1,000 units, which is our cap. Haven't let anyone come in more with 1,000 units. We've had many people try to come in with millions and millions of dollars, but I didn't feel wholeheartedly that would provide equal democratized access to everybody. And that is why we have capped that no single whale could own more than 1,000 units or 1 million equivalent USD of the project itself. I also encourage you to read about us. The groundbreaking developments and inventions, as we are now going to be the first in the world to tokenize, as we are already the first in the world to successfully fractionalize real estate, beach, oceanfront, vacation homes, cash flow producing assets with no bank debt. Also want you to keep in mind is as DeFi develops, as we launch our blockchain, this will provide added and tremendous liquidity for future purchases. This is how we will scale to multiple hundreds of properties, how the community itself will grow. It's how our private network and ecosystem outside of state control, completely diversified and decentralized, will empower all of our members. With our listing, you will see in the future, just like CoinMarketCap.com, there will be entire new city-states, including the Island Project at the top, that will be listed with market cap valuations, income, locations of where they're located, assets that they currently own. And the future of technology and where I believe all this is going is it all is a common ethos. That's what I find probably the most important. We even see this with the Trump campaign. There's a common ethos. Again, he has been deified to a certain extent by the tech elites that have deified him almost in a godlike fashion. This is something that I've been explained to you, and I think a lot of you agree with me on this. But as we transition into this new city-state infrastructure, blockchain technology, Bitcoin, people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump have been deified to a certain extent. It's almost a religious experience and a religious movement, which if you look at the annals of history, if you look at the pros and cons of democracy, which these elites, by the way, said they have given up on. Peter Thiel and others say they gave up on democracy. Elon Musk says he's given up on democracy years ago. And this is what I'm telling you. They're building a new system. The people that own all the Learjets, all the yachts, all the real estate, have all the aggregate wealth, own all the blockchain technology. Now that BlackRock's coming in to co-opt everything and they're buying and stealing all your bags right now, please don't let them steal your bags. You should be buying more bags right now like I did. Sell your kids, sell your freaking house, for crying out loud. I mean, back up the freaking truck right now. You should be buying boatloads of RSR, reserve rights token. You know it's a guarantee. You know that the future of money is islandproject.com. The big beauty of this is we have developed a turnkey system for all you out there. You don't have to be experts. Again, a lot of you aren't experts in Bitcoin or blockchain. You don't know how to tokenize. You want to participate in the crypto 1000x revolution. We do all of this for you in a turnkey, professionally managed system by people that you can trust, the good guys. People that obey, love God, only kneel for Jesus Christ, will never comply, and are fighting on your behalf with blood, sweat, and tears, and have already proven that, not only with our enormous, amazing success, a provable now $33.5 million physically owned, no bank debt asset class, but now multiple decades you've witnessed me producing tens of thousands of videos, literally predicting everything to a T, getting it all right, basically predicting the exact future that you would currently be living as it plays out today. I will be making major announcements, of course, on our blockchain launch. We are positioning that for that imminently here in 2025. Only our Founders Round members, a part of our Founders event, the 33.5 at islandproject.com, will of course get those tokens. You will be the only people to get it at the equivalent of zero. See our financial terms and disclosures. A separate event from your core investment that will keep appreciating, just like this Rolex and the Lambos and these exotic cars over time. I mean, when you buy the best piece of art, you buy the best piece of real estate, you buy Maui Boo, you buy Park Boo, Booyah, Park City Booyah, you buy the freaking Thailand Booyah or the Tokyo Booyah, you always make money. You always want to buy the Mona Lisa, ladies and gentlemen. Islandproject.com is the Mona Lisa of real estate investing that has completely transcended the new system and broken through the matrix to provide equality, freedom, hope, joy, lifestyle enhancement, direct use as a part of a real life, real world community that actually means something, that connects you with real minds and like bodies like myself in a common movement and vision for prosperity, for economy, for digitization as we run the trend and invent the new trend of digital ownership in the RWA, real world asset space. And we slap BlackRock and others, the enemy of the Republic and freedom. And we build out our multi-billion, soon to be multi-trillion-dollar economic network of power and security. The same, political power and security that was the goal that established the United States of America. And now we see Donald Trump moving aggressively into crypto and pardoning a lot of these figures. We can see how all of this is playing out into the exact vision that I've predicted all this time. And I give all glory to God. Of course, Jesus is the King. So, practically speaking, what's going on? You're witnessing the collapse of the old system and the old infrastructure. They're collapsing it intentionally. The old system and governmental bodies are dying. Doggy will delete and destroy and get rid of much of the slack, much of the salaries. They will aim to fix our budget and our deficit. They are going to replace human labor with robots. They are going to replace even white-collar work with artificial intelligence as they build a panopticon, as they integrate the United States into the North American bloc, which I've been warning about for some time, and they build their new economic spheres. Their new, what we've already done, the archipelago, the Isle Chain, the Island Project, the new decentralized, privately owned network of the best land masses and economically producing real estate in the world. Again, all the wealthy elites own one thing, land. All the kings and queens, the same that we fought King George, own property, and they never sell. Up only. Understand you're living in a great disruptive event, that this opportunity truly is once in a lifetime, that you have the opportunity now to make your first $1 million this year, but you got to click the link below at islandproject.com. You got to call or text my dad at 808-442-2934. Not everybody's going to get in. The first thing you need to do right now is fill out an app like your life depends on it. You need to roll over 50 to 60% of now the assets invested in islandproject.com are rollovers. They are self-directed accounts. My father can help you with this. Give him a text or call. Takes about a week's time or so. You can roll over a portion or all of your IRA, all of your retirement accounts, 401ks, and pensions into the Island Project, into a vehicle you control, you own, and you actually get direct benefit from. You can even take a vacation, for crying out loud, at the properties you physically own. You can't do that with the stock. You can't do that with an index fund. You can't do that with an ETF. You can't do it with a fictitious piece of paper. You can only do it with islandproject.com. And keep in mind, our networking opportunities are worth millions as well. Direct access to me, direct access to the equivalent president, the creator, the founder, the CEO, my father, vice president, the best man I know. I'm an honor to my father. I serve my dad to the best of my ability as his son. My dad helps and serves me as well as his son. And I think that's an absolutely beautiful thing. Why have we built this? Why have we built the digital Noah's Ark? Because I love God. I love you. We are making disciples. We are spreading the good news of the real gospel of Jesus Christ, the one true King who commanded me like Noah before me to build the digital Noah's Ark, not the fake city-state economies or the transhuman demonic occult agenda of the tech oligarchy, trying to live forever in a transhuman hell that they self-create for themselves. No, we are fighting the good fight along with you, with our diamond nuts, with real physical assets, with spiritual power, the number one power in the world. And God is coming back soon. I love you all. Jesus Christ is King. Exit the banks. Exit BlackRock. Exit these managed funds. Buy the Island Project with us. Form the economic powerhouse network of the future. Join our blockchain launch. Book a stay and enjoy your life. And live boldly for Christ in the real vision that God has for you. The Holy Spirit is speaking loud and clear today. And if you've been looking for purpose, if you've been looking for direction, if you've been looking for meaning, I have one action for you to take. Join General Greene and John Greene, Vice President, at islandproject.com, the digital Noah's Ark. It is an honor. More exciting news and developments. Again, brand new acquisition on Big Island, Hapuna Beach. Giant penthouse, another $6 million amazing property, complete. In addition to that, we've got some very exciting news. We have an amazing spec project we're developing in Maui. It'll include over 10,000 square feet, 3 different luxury properties on nearly 5 acres of beautiful land that we are also working on. It's our one spec development. It's absolutely incredible. And we've got a lot of important news. And again, as I have diligently and systematically delivered countless videos through the years, we've predicted it all. We've predicted the censorship. We've predicted the takeover. We've predicted Bitcoin and blockchain. We've predicted social media. We've predicted e-commerce. I predicted the invasion of Ukraine. And now I'm telling you that the future, just like Bitcoin is common sense now, the new city-state blockchain ecosystems are the future of why they even developed from PayPal to Bitcoin to now fractional, digitally owned city-state ecosystems and real estate that form flagships in an aisle chain connected that make up the new system economy that is really not just a safe haven, but is your singular best number one action that you can take to not just survive, thrive, but to increase your prosperity, freedom, and liberty in the very dangerous, controversial, chaotic, and disruptive world ahead. Again, World War III is being fought almost bloodless by tech oligarchs, tech elites, venture capital funds, blockchains, decentralization, and the future of money, which of course, physical assets tokenize on a real estate blockchain, which we are the first in the world to actively have already secured. And I want you to think about that. When you start hearing about real world assets this year, this isn't some kind of funny idea. We have already physically secured the asset base for the Founders Round. Talk to my father about that. That's a really big deal. Our proof of concept cash flow producing asset and our mansions, soon to be worldwide, already purchased and owned in Hawaii, and also Park City, will be tokenized to the billions of dollars. I'm making all of you rich because I fear God and I fear God alone, and I will never comply. We are the Christian baller billionaire class. We are the reinvigoration of great figures like the late John McAfee that warned you not to comply, who have actually built a real system and a real solution, that have done it all correctly and have moved the mountains, not because we did, because God has ordered it. This is your moment. Declare your liberty, declare your victory with us, and grow some diamond nuts and click the link below at islandproject.com and get in now. This has been an amazing journey. My hat is literally off to all of you. I love all of you, and I have very exciting announcements with future tokenization, a whole lot more acquisition surprises as we now internationally diversify our worldwide, soon-to-be multi-billion-dollar network, along with my beautiful team. Serve God, love people, make disciples, and tell people about the holy gospel and the good news of our Lord and Savior and King, Jesus Christ. I love you all, and thank you for liking and sharing this video. And let us know if we have any questions. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Your financial advisor sucks. He never recommended Bitcoin. Only I did. Talk to my father. He's the best man I know. 808-442-2934. Let us help you. And even if it's not right for you, we'll be the first to tell you it's not right for you. Again, if you want a no downside, no bank debt, usable physical asset, soon to be tokenized on a blockchain that'll make you rich. You want cash flows, large capital gains, and more importantly, you want to take action against the deep state and the system that hates you, then join us, because we're fighting back. And we're the Christian baller billionaires for a reason. And we're not only witty and smart, but we've actually taken the actions necessary to accomplish the mission. And now God was going to take us to a whole new level. Love you all. Salute all of you. And I'm praying for each and every one of you tuning in.